This is Advancing Your Business, Your People, and Your Legacy podcast, where we discuss all things that impact the growth, value, and sustainability of privately held businesses. This podcast is produced by the Rawls Group, Business Succession Planners, and I am Kendall Rawls, your moderator. In this series, focused on Where Are All the Leaders, Aicha of the American Franchise Academy and Jeff Bannon of the Rawls Group will tackle unique challenges multi-unit franchisees face in recruiting, developing, and retaining top talent. This series covers a variety of discussion topics, so after you finish this installment, be sure to check back in to listen to the remainder of the conversation. Here we go. So here's another question for you, Aicha. Are you seeing a change in motivation or expectation of up-and-coming leaders as compared to years past?
Yes, absolutely. Many of the newer leaders are coming out of college expecting immediate manager level jobs, and they don't have experience. Somehow they believe, or they've been taught in the university or college, that if they know how to read a profit and loss statement, or if they know how to do the costing of a product, they automatically qualify because they have a 4-year degree into becoming managers of businesses. When the reality, one of the biggest and most important things that you need to be able to have or do as far as skills is that interpersonal skill. And the problem is that obviously a lot of that you only get from experience and long-term knowledge. And so for you to be able to gain your people's respect and being able to cause change through them, leadership is a key role. And that's not something that colleges are teaching you. And even if they are, it's mostly theory, not practical. And so once they go out there in the world, they are promoted or hired into a leadership position, and they're quick to fail because they don't have the tools and the knowledge to be able to lead a team into actually implementing and causing change in the industry. And so that's a serious change on the upcoming leaders. As well as the new generation, they value a lot more time, freedom, and flexibility than they do money and growth. And so, way back in our day, right, baby boomers, we work hard, put our head down, and we're willing to do what it takes to make it happen. The new generation, they value that flexibility and freedom a lot more than they do that, let's work hard and grow. Not everybody, of course, but I think that's one of the challenges and changes on generations, which is why franchisees and business owners need to really adapt. I mean, I see it on my clients, how we look at salary strategies and minimum hours and even what are the benefits that can offer. In the past, it was mostly about money and growth. Now it's about flexibility of time and job sharing. And so it's definitely a difference in the leaders of today from the leaders of yesterday. And as a franchisee and business owner, you need to be able to understand that and flex your way and how you manage your business so that you can adjust and still work, well and accomplish your goals through a different generation.
Great, thank you. And Jeff, what about from your perspective?
Well, I agree. I think Aicha brought up a very good point. The socialization or the social skills and interpersonal skills, are certainly a critical component to leadership, if not the most important component of leadership. And, education does not necessarily equate to, learning how to be effective with different types of personalities. And this is, compounded, I think, by social media and the way people are communicating nowadays versus the old days, which is translating a lot in the way business is getting done, I think. There's less of the, hey, let's go have a drink and work something out on the back of a napkin, rather than let's text about this or, see what we can do via electronic communication. But, I think that this is also an age-old issue. What comes to mind for me is a client we've been working with for several years who was a key manager who was the dubbed successor of the owner. And the owner had a very effusive affable personality who, it was a sales related industry, and he preferred to have his office up front and shake the hands of everybody that came in his stores, and was just a real likable guy, and he achieved success via just his interpersonal skills. Well, the successor had a much more CPA type of background, which was an analytical approach and less interpersonal skills. And the minute that the owner decided to step aside and let the key manager assume control, the key manager took that office and moved it from the front of the store out to the back, up a flight of stairs, down the hallway with a locked door. And the owner, I remember talking to him, said, "I don't see this guy is ever going to succeed in this business." Well, the truth is, as a leader in the organization, he just did it differently. Accountability looked a little bit different, and communication was certainly a little bit different, but he grew that store about 4 times what it was originally. And so I think the trappings in this are that a lot of owners look at leadership as through their own lens. How do they, leadership must be what I'm doing and continue in the same manner I'm doing it. And often, as a result, they can dismiss talent pretty quickly that way. So, all that being said, I think that the way in which people are going to lead might be changing, and I think it's constantly going to be changing in an organization. And some owners are comfortable with that, and some aren't.
Yeah, and going back, one of the changes, with the expectation of the new and up and coming leaders, and they graduate, thinking that having a 4-year degree in college is going to be enough. But the reality is that while 66% of kids go to college, only 35% actually graduate with a 4-year degree. So this is why it's so important that we don't just look at a college degree, but we actually look at who we have within our organization so that we are able to promote from within. Degree or no degree, like we mentioned, leadership skills come from beyond what a book can teach you. It really comes from who you are and your personality and how you were able to cause change. And like Jeff was mentioning, it takes different personalities. Just because you're one type of personality doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to be successful. You may still be able to be successful if you find your way in which you can inspire people to produce results. And so that's very important. And it's why the reason more and more companies nowadays, companies like Google and others, are no longer requiring a 4-year degree when they're looking to hire people. And so these new leaders are different. Doesn't mean that they're bad. They're just different. And being able to, as the leaders that are receiving them, understand that and adjust the same way that the ones that are coming out, they need to understand that just having a degree is not enough. You do need to be able to understand and learn the art of leadership, and that's the key that's going to make a difference in any business.
Advancing Your Business, Your People, and Your Legacy is produced by the Rawls Group and hosted by me, Kendall Rawls. Thank you to Aicha Basquero with the American Franchise Academy and Jeff Bannon, a succession planner with the Rawls Group, for their expertise and content contribution to this series. You can hear more of this discussion on the Rawls Group's website at www.rawlsgroup.com. Thanks so much.